Getting into this big one here because of the big power sprinter Sam Bennett, the Irishman, who I think won around 3 stages, and of course the green jersey at the Tour de France last year. Patrick Lefevere, who's at the Giro d'Italia, gave some interviews there on the opening days in Turin. He admitted that Sam Bennett will no longer be with the Deceuninck Quick-Step at the end of for 2022, closing out the 2021 season. A 2-year run with the team, I think around 17 victories, so it's been good money. It's been a good bargain for Sam Bennett. Just what is the latest rumor and happenings, Joe? What's going on? Where's Sam Bennett going?
Well, I'm not sure, 100% sure where he's going.
No, you don't know? I thought you would know.
No, he didn't tell me. But I think the rumour is that Quick-Step can't afford him anymore because as these sprinters get better and better, they obviously become more expensive. Quick-Step has been a team historically with one of the lower budgets, would you say?
Yeah. They have, and
that's also
been a problem with keeping Marcel Kittel, Fernando Gaviria, and of course Ilya Viviani. So yeah, lower budget means they're having a hard time holding on to those guys. But we heard Patrick Lefevere say in that interview that, you know, they can go off and get the big money somewhere else for 2 years at another team, but when it comes time to renew at that other team for that 3rd year in that other team, that they're going to get half of what the team has offered them for those first 2 years because probably they haven't performed as well after they left the Wolf Pack. And so, you know, that's going to be an issue for Sam Bennett. But the rumor is, where is he going, Joe?
Apparently he could be going back to his old team, Bora, and then someone else, who knows who, could be going from Bora to Quick-Step. But I'll let you tell them about that, Gregor.
Well, that could be Sam Bennett. Sam Bennett. I'm getting them confused. It could be a merry-go-round because we could see Peter Sagan go to Deceuninck Quick-Step, and that would be keeping Peter Sagan on Specialized bikes. And you remember when Peter Sagan joined Bora back in the day, I think he was coming off of Team Cannondale or Saxo Bank, Tinkoff Saxo Bank. It was Specialized who put in the money and made that happen and paid Peter Sagan all the big money at Team Bora. And now his star is, you know, it's not as shining as bright as it has done in the past, and so Patrick Lefevere may be able to pick up Peter Sagan at a bargain basement price, could we say. Sam Bennett, if he did go to Bora, he'd be going back to the team that he left, and he left them because of Peter Sagan, because it was Sagan that was always racing the Tour de France, going after all those green jerseys, and Sam Bennett never got his chance to race the Tour de France at the top level. Sam Bennett, after doing well in the Giro d'Italia, the Volta a España, the team would not take him to the Tour de France, so he left to go to a team that would take him to the Tour de France, and so it'd be kind of funny to see him back in Team Bora, that, remember, has Pascal Ackermann, and so that would be kind of an interesting transfer rumor that we should be looking at in the next couple of months, and we'll definitely be hearing more about that when we're at the Tour de France, kind of getting into the whole rumor cycle. But Sam Bennett is going to be hot property. If it's not Team Bora Hansgrohe, one of the other teams will try to pick him up. Now, they have other sprinters in Deceuninck Quick-Step, and these other guys that Lefevere wants to keep developing. So Lefevere has done well in the past at doing that, bringing some of these other riders up to speed and turning them into superstars. Who are we looking at there, Joe? Do you have some of the names?
Well, coming back from injury is obviously Fabio Jakobsen. He had that horrible injury last year. He's already done the Tour of Turkey, so let's hope we're going to see him in some more sprints coming up soon. We've also got David Ballerini and the Colombian rider Alvaro Hodeg, and of course the old-timer. Would you call him an old-timer? I guess you would, wouldn't you? Mark Cavendish. Sorry, Mark, if you hear me saying that. Yeah, the veteran Mark Cavendish. And obviously he's won some races at the Tour of Turkey. A very popular rider, so it'd be great to see him win some more as well.
He'll be calling you up after this show, I'm sure, for calling him an old guy. He is one of the older riders now in the peloton, but he has a pretty long list of race wins, and that includes 30 race wins in the Tour de France. And Michael Sheen and I last week were talking about whether or not the team will pick him for the Tour de France. I said no. I think Michael said they should take him, but they're going to take Sam Bennett and I think build the sprint team around around Sam. And the team, of course, has Alaphilippe. They're taking to the Tour de France. Hopefully they're with Sam Bennett as well. And the team has recently renewed Alaphilippe's contract. The team has renewed Casper Asgreen, the winner of course, Tour of Flanders, and of course the young Belgian hopeful who's over racing here in Italy at the Giro d'Italia, Remco Evenepoel. So Patrick Lefevere has a lot of concerns about where he spends the team's budget, and that's the issue with trying to keep a rider like Sam Bennett. But we'll be watching all this unfold. We'll be looking ahead to the Tour of Hungary and, of course, the Criterium du Dauphiné and the Tour de Suisse. Joe, thank you for joining us. And that's the show this week. Stay tuned for next week's.